This episode contains references to drug use, addiction, mental health challenges, and loss. Please listen with care. Thank you for tuning into today's episode of What is Your Story? My name is Modupe Daramola, and I'm the founder and editor-in-chief of Noisy Streets. June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and for this episode, we're sharing the story of Bolaji, who is a friend whose journey through addiction, loss, and recovery is as raw as it is necessary. What struck me about Bolaji's story is how familiar it feels, how easy it is to slip into substance use without realizing how deep you're getting. For him, it began with curiosity, as these things always do. Let me just try it. But what began as a one-off experiment quickly spiraled. Along the way, he lost his father, his job, and began experiencing mania, which for him manifested as hearing voices that weren't actually there. This episode is important because his story is not unusual. I know and I read of many people, mostly young men, who've gone through similar things. The access to weed is so easy now that this dependency is escalating beyond our current understanding. And the scariest part is that many don't even realize they are addicted until it's too late. In the episode, I love how Bolaji's family rallied around him. His mom, who is deeply spiritual, held him up in prayer, while his sister, who was a doctor at UCH in Ibadan at the time, stepped in with the medical care that he needed. It really shows all the different types of care you will need in your journey to recovery. If you are listening to this and you are struggling with any form of drug or any substance abuse, please know that you are not alone. We've compiled a list of hospitals, rehab centers, and resources here in Nigeria to help you get started. Places like Ishwat in Abeokuta, UCH in Ibadan, and the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital in Yaba are all accessible options. Please reach out for help. Most importantly, there is no shame in seeking help. Talk to someone, anyone you trust. And if you don't have someone close, that's okay too. These places that I mentioned are good places that you can turn to. If Bolaji's story resonates with you, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment or reach out. Maybe you have a story of your own that you want to share. Remember that once again, you are not alone. Reach out for help. You are now listening to an episode of What is Your Story by Noisy Podcast. Enjoy.
Hi everyone, my name is Mobalaji and this is my story. I came into contact with marijuana or weed in my SS2 in my secondary school. I had just learned about the topic drug abuse in civic studies. And definitely our teachers told us that it was a bad thing, I should not abuse drugs, but I didn't know what it meant. Like, I thought they were just saying it because it was a topic. Then I realized that some of my juniors and some of my seniors were using drugs in school, and I was not interested in it because at that point I didn't have any worries. My parents were providing for me, they used to fend for me. I was not exposed yet. I was just like a mom's boy. Going on, I realized that this particular junior in my secondary school was using weed to stay up all night because he was doing yahoo. And at that point I didn't have any problem with him because nobody wanted to snitch. Nobody wanted to be a snitch either. So we just kept mute in school then. But then I entered university and I was alone. I started becoming exposed, and in my 100 level I always wanted to roll with the bad guys. I always wanted to feel among the bad guys, but then I was not a bad guy. So they didn't let me in the bracket. I was not popping. Let me put it that way. They didn't let me in that circle. So in 200 level, I met my guy. He was part of the bad guys in 100 level. So he was my roommate. I don't know how God did it. He was my roommate at that point, and he stayed around my area. So I'm like, okay, let's link up this holiday now. So we linked up during the holiday and took me to this bar. This is a smoking bar actually. They smoke weed in that bar. So he took me there and he rolled a blunt for me and he gave it to me to smoke. So after I finished smoking, at the point I'm like, nothing even happened. What I give him to smoke. So 10 minutes later or 5 minutes later, I just started feeling on top of the world. My worries started disappearing. All my problems started going behind me, and I started by every other person, like small people, like ants. I'm like, what is wrong? So I was just happy. I just started smiling. I was just laughing. I'm like, oh wow, so something can take away my problems. So since then, I started falling in love with marijuana, with weed, and ever since then, I started smoking up until now that I overcame the phase. So after smoking with him in the bar, we went back to school, and in my school, I went to a private school, and in that school, it's very rare to see people doing drugs. Like most times, they expel them at an early stage, like 100 level, 200 level. Most people that even do drugs, maybe it's like final year, they don't do it on campus. It's very hard to see, because when you notice like a weird behavior from a student, they just take them to the lab to do a drug test, and they expel them immediately if they find any drug in their system. So I would smoke at the beginning of the holidays, and when I realized I'm going back into school, like 30 days before going back to school, or 29 days, because I read it online, or I heard somebody say that weed stays in your system for 30 days. 30 days before going back to school, I would stop smoking. So in my mind, I was smarting the system. I know that I was doing myself. So I graduated from school, and I started smoking more, because I didn't have like this control over me. Nobody was to supervise me, apart from my parents, and they used to go to work every day. So I was like, I had the whole house to myself during the day, because my parents go to work in the morning and come back in the night. So one day, my mom saw weed in my room. My mom is this kind of woman that she's always concerned about her children. Like she's always in their matter. She's like a very good mom. So she came to my room, she was searching my room, and she saw my weed inside my phone case. A phone I just bought. I put like a bag of weed. Then she can show my dad. My dad was like, Bolaji, Umubo. That means like, Bolaji, you're smoking weed. I'm like, Daddy, this is not weed though. This is loud. I was just trying to give it class. Because like, Igbo means like, that's maybe SK or something. I started with SK though. So Igbo means like maybe SK. I was starting telling him that, Daddy, please give it class. So this is not Igbo. So he was very disappointed in me. I think it was because he had done it in his past when he was younger, and he knew the repercussion of what I was doing. But he didn't tell me anything, and he just made me continue. My parents were like the kind of parents that, yeah, they will like scold you, they will correct you, but they let you experience life too. They are not like very strict parents. They are like, they're just there actually. And I feel like that's the best form of parenting, to be honest. So I told them our story. I was making a video of both of them, like when I was begging them, like, Mom, I'm sorry, Dad, I'm sorry. But then I was making a video of them because I was so courageous. Like, I don't know where the courage is come from. Anytime I don't smoke, I just have this courage. And then my dad died, and I started smoking even more than before. And this was when we started affecting me. This is when I realized that we started affecting me, because before, when he died, I started smoking, and I didn't even feel anything. Like, I just felt like, oh, my dad died. Yeah, I started working immediately. He died in September. I finished school in September. I started working in December. I mean, I almost started working in October itself. But I'm like, everything in my mind was money. I'm like, and my dad even warned me about everything about me being about money. I didn't know that he had a point, and he knew what he was saying. So I now started working. My uncle put me in a tech company, so I started working as a software developer intern. When I got the job, I was new there, so I had a fight with my colleague who was an intern too. He was like, I thought I heard a voice. I thought I heard his voice, because I used to hear voices at that time. I used to smoke weed, and I used to hear voices at that time. So I thought I heard his voice telling me, "Oh, Ujo Matorin con, like that means you're actually supposed to see something in this company." So I was like, what does this guy mean? Does it mean I'll get fired soon or something? So I went to push him to the wall. I pushed him so hard that he almost fell down. So he now went to report me to the CEO. Then I got fired the next day. And I was staying with my uncle at Yaba at that point. And when I got to Yaba, I told my uncle the next day that I was not going to work because I got fired. And he was like, and you're saying it casually like this. What's wrong with you? Are you normal? And this my uncle, we have smoked together before once, once or twice. We smoked together before, so I was like, uncle, I just got fired. It's not as if it's a big deal. Like, I didn't see it as a big deal because I thought it meant to understand, but definitely it's a big deal. But I didn't see it as a big deal because at that point I was a smoker and it was affecting me. So I thought it was meant to understand. But it's like, you cannot take me in his house anymore. That I have to leave. So my sister came from home, from my house in Lagos to Yaba. And she's like, Bolaji, come and talk to you. And she was talking to me and she started telling me that weed is affecting me, that see I got fired. So I chased her out of my room in anger. My mom was there that same day. She came to Yaba my mom came to Yaba with my pastor. So my mom was about to take me to church when she realized that I kept smoking, because she already wanted me to stop smoking like multiple times. She caught me like another time after her, my dad caught me, and she wanted me to stop smoking, but I didn't listen to her because I felt like she knew what she was saying, that she's just old school. Like maybe she didn't know that this was a new thing. This was a new thing in town at that point. Like everyone smokes. So why is it me that she should stop smoking? I mean, this thing not doing shit to me.
Are you enjoying this episode so far? If you love stories that make you feel at home and you love reading December love stories, check out our anthology, A Man and a Woman and Other Stories. You can get a copy of this book at Roven Heights Bookstore in Nigeria or at Vidya Bookstore in Ghana. You can also check out the link in our description box below for all of this information. Noisy Streets also hosts monthly book club meetings every last Saturday of the month. You can find all the information you need in the box below. Okay, let's get back to the episode.
So, my sister came and she's like, Bolaji, let's go see Ibadan to eat Amala. And she was a student in UCH at that point. She's a doctor today, but she's still a student at that point. So she's like, let's go and eat Amala. I didn't know that she had not done the course about mental health and drug-induced psychosis. So she took me to Ibadan, and when I got to Ibadan, they clecked me. We didn't go and eat Amala anymore because she tricked me. We didn't go and eat Amala. So they clecked me and told me that I have to be admitted. She had like some connections because she was a student. She had some connections with some doctors. So they found the best place for me immediately, and I got admitted. Then the next morning, the day I got admitted, the day I got to the hospital, they had given me some injections to make me sleep. And the next day I woke up and I saw myself on a drip. And I saw doctors on my phone telling me, clicking me and telling me they're doing word round, just trying to check up on all the patients in the hospital. So I was not happy. I was actually very sad, but I'm not a kind of person that I'm not a stubborn person. I'm not a kind of person that likes to fight and like just tries to go against people's will, especially when like they're trying to help me or something. So I'm like, okay, let me just stay here. But I was not happy, I was not happy with my sister. My mom always kept coming to the hospital, and my sister always kept coming to, because she was a student there, and the hospital was not far from her hostel. So she comes like every day, like twice a day, to come and check up on me. She buys food for me, and I mean, people were even jealous of me at that point in the hospital. I met too many people in the hospital. I met crack addicts, I met weed addicts, I met cultists. And I don't think I've mentioned this, but I almost joined cults when I was sick, because when I had a fight with my friend. I was like, in this life, okay, what do I need apart from money? I think it's power. So like, I'm gonna let me join cult too. Because I was very angry. I'm like, why people be shepherding me on the road like this? I'm like, okay. So I got discharged from the hospital. I took my medication like how they wanted me to take it, but at the point I was fed up. I'm like, how am I taking medication every day? They're not even doing anything to me. Like, why am I taking these same medications every day? I didn't know they were working. So I got discharged from the hospital. And doctor said I should keep taking my Risperdal. I was taking Risperdal and Epilim at that point. So I'm like, so the medicine were making me eat a lot, and I was getting bigger. So I was like, what can I do? When I was smoking, I was very slim. I was very built because it used to give me excess energy. So every morning I used to go and jog like 4 kilometers, 3 kilometers in the morning. I'll go and lift weights. I had like this dumbbells, barbell set in my room that I was always lifting. So I started adding weight, and I didn't like the fact that I was adding weight because I wanted to be this sexy guy. I always thought I'll be front of a magazine when I grow up, because I used to overthink things at that point. I was sick, so I was just imagining things. I thought I was in front of Nike magazine one day, just showing off my body because I was very built, and I become a very good developer in the future. But then I was just rolling in circles. Like, I was not achieving anything. It was just like nothing was coming out of anything I was doing. Then I messaged my doctor that, sir, I'm adding weight too, and I don't like what's happening. I told my sister too, but my sister kept supporting the doctor, like, oh, Bolaji, you are disturbing this doctor, leave this doctor alone. Because at that point, I messaged him around 12 a.m. in the midnight, and he was a family man. She's like, he's a family man now. Like, I'm messaging me. I didn't have any like orientation that, okay, you don't message people at 12. You don't message people that have families at 12 a.m. Because I messaged my guys at that time, and I'm like, they reply me, so I'm like, and I'm already used to that lifestyle. I was used to that lifestyle. I'm like, okay, I'm living without rules at that point, without rules and regulations. Like, I was just living life as it comes. So he's like, he now blocked me, and I went back to smoking. Sadly, everyone was disappointed, and even me, I didn't know that smoking was affecting me. I didn't know that smoking, that weed, marijuana, could affect somebody. So I went back to smoking, and I had a fight with someone in traffic because he hit my car, and I got down and I removed a stick from my car. I removed the baseball bat and I wanted to hit him, and because he just crashed my car a bit, just small. He just brushed my car, and it wasn't nice. I wanted to hit him with that baseball bat. My friend in the car was like, "But let us go. Like, your drama is too much." I didn't know that weight just started affecting me again. So I just let it go, and I stood there for some time though. I just tried to show some muscles. And by the time I was getting bigger, so I didn't have muscles anymore. So I just let it go. I'm like, okay, I'll just let it go, because my friend talked to me and I didn't even have muscles to show anymore. Hey, part of the reason why I got back to smoking was that I didn't like my body, because someone that was very slim before, built, as in, I just get all the girls easy. And I started getting big. It's not as if my life was not good, but then I was just used to like being fit, and my clothes were not even fitting anymore. I was telling the doctor that, oh, sir, my clothes is not fitting anymore. He didn't even reply me. He will not reply. He will just read my message and not reply. So I went to ChatGPT one day. ChatGPT told me that, oh, they can change your drugs. So the doctor finally changed my drugs, and I was on drugs that didn't make me get big anymore. But these drugs are like they work slower than the drugs they put me on before. So I started taking Tegretol and Ariprazole, and I was doing fine. Like, I was not adding weight anymore. I was living a normal life, but I was still on drugs. So I was not comfortable. Then after that, I got a job at Private Network Nigeria Limited. As a software developer. So I started regretting my past actions. I became sober for like a year, but I was still feeling some type of like mental dysfunctionality. Like, I was not myself yet, but I was just getting better. Because they said that if you relapse once, it takes you 2 years. You use your medications for 2 years. If you relapse twice, you use your medications for life. I thought it was a joke too. Everything seems like a joke to me, but bro, it's real. I don't want to be on medications for life. So I stopped smoking and I became sober. And I'm like, why was I smoking? Like, I'm living a normal life. This life is more beautiful than lives on drugs. I do everything freely. I'm chilled. I'm just there. I put boundaries, like my friendships, my relationships. I'm just there. I don't need anything. Like, I'm not suffering. My parents are there for me. You get, like, everything's just there. Like, so, like, what do I need drugs for? Like, everything I need, my parents provide. I provide myself because I work. If I can't provide, my mom provide for me, or my sister is there, my brother is there. I'm like, I didn't really need to. Now I regret everything I've done in the past, and I live a better life. And I want to tell people out there that if you are going through one or two things, that you don't need to embark on drugs or start taking drugs. You can achieve soft things without drugs. and I stopped taking alcohol too, and my life has been so much better. Alright, guys, that's the end of my story. Thanks for listening.
We hope that you enjoyed listening to this episode of What Is Your Story by Noisy Podcast. If you would like to be a guest on the show, please click in the link in the description box below. And don't forget to share, leave a comment, and like this episode. Also follow us on all of our social media at noisy.podcast. Okay, I'll see you the same time next week. Bye.